Hello everyone, welcome to English Tutorials by Poonam Thakur. In this video, I'm going to discuss the poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers by Adrienne Rich from class 12th English textbook Flamingo. Let's get started. Let me tell you about the poet first. Poet, essayist, Adrienne Rich was one of America's prominent intellectuals born on May 16, 1929 in Baltimore, USA. A recipient of a number of awards, her claim to fame were her feminist ideas and her wide involvement in contemporary women's movement as a poet and theorist. Much of her education was self-education. She has published 19 volumes of poetry, 3 collections of essays, and other writings. The poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers addresses the constraints of married life a woman experiences. Children, let's focus on the words used in the poem. It will help you to understand the poem in better way and it will also enhance your vocabulary. So the first word we have is prance or prancing. It means move with high springy steps. Prancing can also be equated with walking in a confident, joyous, spirited manner. Next, screen. It refers to a tapestry, screen, or canvas that Aunt Jennifer is using to create her needlepoint or embroidery. Tapestry. It consists of a heavy cloth, usually rectangular, embroidered with colorful designs or scenes. These are often hung on walls for decoration. Next word is topaz, a gem, usually translucent yellow. A topaz specially refers to a yellow sapphire or yellow quartz. Next word is denizens. Denizens means inhabitants. The tigers are residents of the world of green. Chivalric, a term often used to describe the moral code of medieval knights. Today, a man who is honorable and courteous, especially when it comes to his treatment of women, might be described as chivalrous. Wedding band. It represents the bond of marriage. Sleek. Sleek means elegant, stylish. Ringed. An adjective indicating that something is encircled, surrounded as if with a ring. Ordeal. It means a very unpleasant and prolonged experience. Panel. The panel here refers to the tapestry, canvas that Aunt Jennifer is creating through her needlework or embroidery. The poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers is clearly a feminist poem. It is critical of the male world for terrifying and oppressing Aunt Jennifer and causing her to create an alternate world of freedom which she inhabits only in her imagination. It is her make-believe world of escape. Children, I will read the first stanza and then I'll explain it in detail. So here I go. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen, bright topaz denizens of world of green. They do not fear the men beneath the tree, they pace in sleek chivalric certainty. The poem opens with vibrant imagery describing the tigers pictured in Aunt Jennifer's tapestry who are fearless of their environment. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across the screen, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. This first couplet portrays an idealistic dream-like world where nothing can go wrong. The reference to a screen in the line 1 signals to the reader that these tigers are part of a tapestry or canvas which Aunt Jennifer is embroidering. The poet refers to them as Aunt Jennifer's tigers as they are her creation, her work of art. The tigers which Aunt Jennifer creates are referred as bright yellow in color, like the color of the topaz, a precious gem, and live in a green world where their majestic movements express fearlessness. They evoke an image that these regal tigers are unafraid of other beings in the forest. Bright here signifies their powerful and radiant persona. There's a sense of certainty and confidence in the way these tigers move, as can be seen in the line. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. These tigers are fearless. They do not fear men beneath the tree. They pace, they move elegantly and majestically. They prance and are sleek, elegant, as well as gallant and confident. They move ahead, undeterred by any hindrances. Prancing tigers are a symbol of the spirit of freedom within Aunt Jennifer, which remains subdued. They also symbolize her fear of her male counterpart. Tigers are epitome of courage, fearlessness, boldness, radiance, beauty, and glory. And through them, Aunt Jennifer is venting out her feelings. They are outlet to her desires. And what are her feelings? She wants to be as bold, as fearless as her tigers. Stanza 2. Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. In the second stanza, the reality of Aunt Jennifer is revealed as she is frail, weak, and enslaved, very much the opposite of the tigers she was embroidering. Here, the poet describes the fear of Aunt Jennifer towards her husband. Her fingers are described as fluttering, suggesting anxiety and nervousness. Her physical and mental trauma is depicted in the lines, find even the ivory needle hard to pull. She is so oppressed, so timid and terrified that she finds it hard to pull the ivory needle through the cloth. The wedding band, the ring doesn't help either. It weighs heavily on Aunt Jennifer, perhaps as a result of the emotional baggage associated with it through her marriage. Even though a wedding ring doesn't weigh much, the massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand, signifies the amount of dominance her husband exercised over her. Band is referred as Uncle's wedding band and not Aunt Jennifer's, which affirms Uncle's dominance in their relationship. She feels burdened by the authority of her husband. There's a hint of hyperbole over here, as massive seems over the top for a mere band. How can a wedding band weigh so much? So it has to be symbolic again. So massive weight of Uncle's ring means he's very dominating person. The poet is reinforcing the idea that Aunt Jennifer isn't happy. The ring is just not a ring, but responsibilities of marriage. Her entire life is this huge, massive weight sitting on her hand, and she finds really hard to pull the needle. She feels burdened by her marital responsibilities. This also means that her inner free spirit has been jailed by the patriarchal society. Stanza 3. When aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with ordeal she was mastered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing proud and unafraid. In the last stanza, again, the poet focuses on the hands of Aunt Jennifer using language that is pretty extreme: dead, terrified, ringed, ordeals, mastered. Living in a male dominated world, she seems to have lost her identity in the last stanza, where she is just referred as aunt. Poet says even her death couldn't free her from the ordeals she went through, which can be seen in lines. When aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie still ringed with the ordeals she was mastered by. Her hands are referred as terrified. It's not hands, but aunt who is terrified of her husband. The terror is transferred to her hands. Poet has used transferred epithet over here, as the ring she is wearing is the sole proof of the tortures which she had faced in her life. So the poet says that even death will fail to release her of the chains of her struggles which have dominated her and bound her during her lifetime. An ordeal implies long term, harsh experience, so we can take it that this woman had to endure a long suffering marriage oppressed by her domineering husband. The ring is associated with ordeals that Aunt Jennifer was mastered by. The use of word mastered suggests us husband as the master. It also reminds us of another thing, that is circus, where ringmaster tames ferocious animals and make them perform and make them do what he wants them to do. Similarly, Aunt is also mastered by her husband. Aunt Jennifer is ringed, trapped in her marriage and controlled like an animal. Her husband is her master. So it's quite clear that uncle and aunt's dynamic in the poem is one of master and slave. Even in death, the submissive lifestyle she led shows through in her hands. Although Aunt Jennifer can't escape in life or death the weight of her difficult marriage, her creative work remains a liberating force. Her artwork, which was her escape route, or in a way, her inner sense of freedom, will stay forever proud and unafraid. Poet says that Aunt Jennifer herself may not be free, but her tapestries and their tigers are. What's more, the tapestries will outlive Aunt Jennifer, uncle, and their marriage, indicating that art can create an immortal kind of freedom that goes beyond human oppression. Her creative expression will continue to live in the form of the tigers that she has created in her panel. The one redeeming feature of her life, the prancing, free spirited tigers, will continue indefinitely. Her tigers will not be affected by the domination of men. They will roam proudly and fearlessly forever, giving a ray of hope to those who see no way out of a relationship. Children, thank you so much for watching right till the end. So if you like the video, please hit the subscribe button and bell icon right next to it. And if you are happy with my presentation, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to give your valuable comments. Keep watching English Tutorials by Poonam Thakur.